Hello, boys and girls. Mr. Palace here. I have my Rocky shirt on. Rocky is a champion, and the reason I'm wearing this today is because I want you to become a champion. All right. We have a text today where it's a close read in that you want to read a story, and then you want to look back into the story to look for certain information. Okay. I always tell my students you want to be like Private Iguana. You'll find that on our playlist. You want to be a detective when you're reading, okay? The first time you're reading, you're just trying to figure out the format of the story and be comfortable with the text. But then when you look back into the text, you want to look with a focus, okay? So the story we have today is called Termite Mounds. So a little beaver, he's given us some suggestions. I'm going to write down some questions I have after reading this passage. For example, why do some animals like to make termite mounds their home? That's a good question. And what he's talking about is you should have questions as you're reading to really think about the text on a deeper level. So first, let's find out what the story is about termite mounds, okay? Okay. Some termites are called mound builders. They work together to build the nest from mounds of clay. Some of these mounds are more like towers. They stand almost 35 feet tall. And they've actually organized it for us, boys and girls. This is paragraph 1. You see the one that's right there? Mound builders are found in Africa, Australia, and parts of South America. Other animals in these areas also use termite mounds. Some wait until the termites move away. Others ignore the termites and use the mounds anyway. Termite mounds are usually the highest point on a plain. Cheetahs often climb to the top and use the mound as a lookout point. Cheetahs keep an eye out for their next meal from high atop the mound. When the termites move onto a new nest, they leave their tall mounds behind. That's good for animals that know how to put an empty termite mound to good use. Some animals take over a termite mound and make it their home. Mongooses are small animals in Africa. They make a hole in the mound to get inside. The termite mound keeps them safe from other animals. Snakes also use an empty termite mound as a home. Termite mounds also come in handy for large animals. Elephants and rhinos use them as scratching posts. Bug bites and dry mud can make any creature itchy. These large animals stand near a mound and rub against them. Sometimes they even stand over a mound to scratch their bellies. All right, so we're learning about multiple purposes for these animals. All right, now here we go. We have some questions. And many of you know there's a big third grade state test that's going to be very similar to this, in which you have to read a passage and look back into the passage to find the answers. All right, so let's look at number 1. Why do cheetahs like to climb up termite mounds? Now, what I like to do is just read all the answer choices first. And then we'll go back into the text to find the right answer. So why do cheetahs like to climb up termite mounds? A, they can look far to see animals to hunt. B, they can sleep safely on top of termite mounds. C, they use termite mounds as scratching posts. D, they can call to each other more easily. So think about why the cheetah uses it. Now, if you remember from the text, you can tell me either A, B, C, or D. I'll wait. Okay, now let's go back into text and look. Let's find out which paragraph talked about cheetahs. Oh, I see right here. I see the word cheetah in paragraph 3. So I'm going to reread this paragraph. Termite mounds are usually the highest point on a plain. Cheetahs often climb to the top and use the mound as a lookout point. Cheetahs keep an eye out for their next meal from high atop the mound. Now let's look back at your answer choices. Okay, definitely not D, not C, and not B. So the correct answer choice is A. They can look far to see animals to hunt. Now let's look at question number 2. Which question can be answered by reading paragraph 5? Okay, so I'm going to go back to paragraph 5 first for this one, and I want to read it because I don't remember exactly what was in paragraph 5. And then after we read paragraph 5, we can find out which question can be answered. Some animals take over a termite mound. and make it their home. Mongooses are small animals in Africa. They make a hole in the mound to get inside. The termite mound keeps them safe from other animals. Snakes also use an empty termite mound as a home. So let's look at number 2. How tall is a termite mound? No, not A, because it didn't talk about the height. B, why do mongooses move into termite mounds? Maybe. That could be a maybe because they do mention the mongoose. C, what large animals use termite mounds? Definitely not. So A and C are out. And then D, what animals are mound builders? Definitely not D. So I would say B, why do mongooses move into termite mounds? Because again, if we look to paragraph 5, it says some animals take over termite mounds and make it their home. Mongooses are small animals in Africa. They make a hole in the mound to get inside. The termite mound keeps them safe from other animals. So it's talking about why the mongoose uses termite mound. All right, number 3, last question. And this is a short answer response, boys and girls. So when you answer this, you want to make sure you're starting with a capital letter, giving it a complete thought, finding the answer within the text, and then, of course, ending with a period, exclamation point, or a question mark if there's a question. So number 3 says, how do rhinos and elephants use termite mounds? Use details from the passage to support your answer. So when they say use details from the passage, you have to find sentences that tell us how rhinos and elephants use termite mounds. Now let's look for those words, rhinos and elephants. Oh, here we go, paragraph 6. Termite mounds also come in handy for large animals. Elephants and rhinos use them as scratching posts. Bug bites and dry mud can make any creature itchy. These large animals stand near a mound and rub against them. Sometimes they even stand over a mound to scratch their bellies. So the question says, how do rhinos and elephants use termite mounds? My first sentence I would say is, rhinos and elephants use termite mounds for many purposes. Now, the next sentence I would write is directly from the text. So I would say, in the second sentence, elephants and rhinos use them as scratching posts. I would put that in quotations. Now, I try to find another sentence that tells us how they use it. Okay. Do you see the sentence that says, these large animals stand near a mound and rub against them? So we've given them now 2 examples, because it says use details from the passage for your answer. 2 examples from the text. All right. Boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope this motivates you to really look further and deeper into the text. Okay, you want to read the story and then you want to look back into it, and you want to be so comfortable with the story that you know all about it. I always say you want to be so comfortable that when you go home at night and you're having dinner with your family, that you can tell them a story about termite mounds. All right, boys and girls, I'll see you soon.